The following program, offered by Fox19, includes lawyers licensed in Kentucky. For those lawyers to maintain compliance with the Kentucky Bar Association requirements, the phrase, "This is an advertisement," must appear on the screen. Moore Law is underwritten in the public interest by the Moore Law Firm, a legal professional association. This is Moore Law on Fox 19.
Welcome to Moore Law. Today our topic is traffic accidents. Memorial Day kicks off vacation time for a lot of people, which also leads to car wrecks and other injuries. If you've been injured, you need to know what your rights are under the law. You also need to know when you should contact an attorney or just let your insurance company handle it. The phone lines are open. If you have been injured and don't know what to do, give us a call at 513-421-4691. We already have some calls coming in, but let's take a look real quick at what we have coming up over the next few weeks. On June 4th, meet the police chief. Cincinnati Chief James Craig will be here. June 11th, crime and punishment. June 18th, Grandpa and the law. Now, joining me today, as every Monday, Don Moore. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Deb?
Good. Was it a good Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah. I've probably killed more than my share of burgers and dogs. Had a fun picnic. How about you?
Well, good. A lot of soccer games, some Kings Island and cookouts. And actually today I'll be running out the door right at 10 o'clock. A good friend of mine, Walter Zago, 86 years old. He was a paratrooper in World War II. So he's speaking at a Memorial Day event in Madeira. So we'll be heading out to that.
Oh, excellent. Well, you know, obviously we want to remember the veterans and those who have given their life for our country. This is Memorial Day. That's what it's about. That's what we're supposed to be thinking about. And the Constitution and the law that I get to practice, along with the people I practice with, including Dan, who's with me here today, that all goes back to those people who were willing to give their life for our country and our Constitution. So we have, in my opinion, the best. And I've got one of the best with me here today to help answer people's questions about car accidents.
You're biased. You're biased.
Well, he is biased.
I try and be.
Well, as it should be. Thanks for coming back again.
Good to be here.
Good. All right. Well, I know that we do have a call, couple calls right now. Let's go first to Katie in Kentucky. Katie, you were involved in an accident where you were rear-ended. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
I was sitting at a traffic light, and a woman was texting, and her... Sorry, I had to turn that.
Sure.
So Katie, let me just ask a question. You got rear-ended while you're sitting at a traffic light. You're not going anywhere, and she's texting and runs into the rear of you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you hurt?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go to the hospital immediately afterwards, or no?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things. One is whether they're texting or not, if they run into the rear of you, they're at fault. So as far as a liability situation, that's clear. Now, tell us a little bit more. What's your question for this morning?
It's been 3 years, and I keep going in for treatments to different doctors, and my insurance company is subrogating against their insurance company when I reach a certain amount.
Okay. So specifically, let me talk about something there, and I want you to help me with your specific question. But with respect to subrogation, that's a big, long 50-cent word, and basically it means the insurance company stands in your shoes. They have the right to collect against the person who caused the wreck, sometimes even ahead of you. And the one you're talking about subrogating would be your medical carrier? Is that right?
Well, my auto insurance, yes.
Okay. Well, that is, there's a couple of different things that I'm not clear on. If it's your medical carrier, like I'm thinking Blue Cross and Blue Shield or
No, sir, it's not.
Okay. It's your auto carrier they're subrogating.
Yes, sir.
And did they pay part of your medical bills already?
Every time, yes, every time.
Are they paying that under your PIP benefits?
I don't know what PIP is, sir.
Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you. PIP is personal injury protection. It's no fault, and it's in Kentucky. Was your accident a Kentucky accident?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so that's probably what they're doing. They're paying right along, and they have the right to collect. They have a right to collect from the other carrier. So specifically, are you just dealing with your insurance company now, or are you dealing with the other insurance company?
I'm dealing with my insurance company. Their insurance company will call every 3 to 4 weeks, and then finally I had to ask them to please, could you give it a little time? I mean, you guys keep calling and you want to settle, and I can't get rid of the pain, and I don't know what to do. And this is what I'm thinking to myself, so the easiest thing for me to say to them is, I'm on another call, can I call you back, etc. And
yeah, just putting them off, that's not the right thing to do. Katie, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Is there a suit pending? Do you have a lawyer? Have you filed suit?
no, sir.
You know, you got a statute of limitations in Kentucky of 2 years, and if 3 years has gone by, you could have trouble as far as making a claim against the other party. You really need some legal advice on this. This has gone along too far. You can't just put them off. There is a time when you just have to talk to an attorney. Dan, why don't you tell her about how the contingency fee business works?
Well, the contingency fee business is really simple. A lot of people don't know how it works, but once I explain it to you, it's going to be easy for you to understand. All it is you go to see a lawyer who handles your car crash, and he's going to charge you a percentage of whatever he recovers. Typically, that attorney is going to charge a third in this area for handling your car crash case. He doesn't get paid unless he recovers money for you. You don't have to pay any expenses out of your pocket unless you get a recovery. So that's pretty simple. With respect to the statute of limitations, which is the deadline that Dad was talking about a minute ago, sometimes the statutes of limitations in Kentucky for car crash cases can be adjusted by receiving further medical treatment. But the best advice is, with your particular complicated situation, is to go see a lawyer.
And Don, you had a graphic that you wanted to show that really kind of goes to what Katie was talking about.
That's exactly right. You would not believe how many people you have to fight with when you have a simple automobile accident. We've got a little graphic they're showing up there. Typically, you're going to be fighting with your own medical insurance company, and you don't think about that. I mentioned before, like Blue Cross and Blue Shield or some of the others, and I just say that because I've heard that since I was a little kid. As far as that name, there are many, many companies that do medical insurance, and they all have subrogation now. And subrogation, as we said a minute ago, means that they have rights to collect against the other party's insurance that you would normally be competing with. You want to collect against the other party's insurance for your injuries. That insurance company is also collecting against the other party's insurance to get their money back that they paid you for medical insurance. Most people don't know that. With respect to, you're also going to be fighting with both your own liability carrier for uninsured or underinsured motorist protection, that is if the other guy doesn't have enough coverage, and you're going to be fighting with the other guy if he does have coverage for the value of your claim. They'll argue with you about negligence or other things like that, whose fault it really was. And further, you're going to be fighting about your car. There's all kinds of car fights. People just go on and on about the car value. If it's a total, what was the value of the vehicle immediately before the wreck versus the value after? And if it's going to be repaired, do you have to use aftermarket parts, or can you use original new parts? It gets complicated.
All right, Katie, we certainly hope that we've been helpful there. And we have another Northern Kentucky call right now. Mary in Florence. Mary, go ahead. Are you still with us, Mary?
Yes.
Go ahead with your question, please.
Yes. My question is about had a wreck, and it was my fault. I was coming up the street, and my car pulled toward the... Yes. Okay, I had a wreck.
We got it. You had a wreck, and it's your fault, Mary. Carry us a little further.
Oh, okay. And I hit two cars and then pushed another one, the second one, into the third one. And what I'm asking is, when do I start my insurance, and will other people's insurance get in touch with me?
Mary, did you just have that wreck this weekend?
Yes.
Okay. Dan, you want to tell her what to do?
Yeah, this is real easy, Mary. You need to call your insurance company up right now. As soon as you get off the phone, I'd call them up, you can call your insurance agent, or you can call the general number and you can report your crash. You can tell them what happened, and that'll start the process. Most of the time, the other insurance companies are going to contact your insurance company to deal with all the intricacies and all that kind of stuff. They're going to want to take your statement. Your insurance company will, and you have to let them because they're your insurance company. You have a contract with them, so they should take care of it for you. And it's really that simple. If the other insurance companies call, you can refer them to your insurance company. They can handle most of the details for you.
So,
no, I was just going to say that I can honestly say I've been in exactly Mary's situation where this was my fault and there were two cars and one called to the insurance company and I never heard another word about it.
And that is the bottom line. And don't wait till the weekend's over. It's not something you put off. That day, call your insurance. They've all got hotlines and you can, and they'll set it up and they'll take care of it. That's their job.
Sooner's better.
Okay. Good luck with that, Mary. I think we can get to one more call before the break. Let's go to Rich in Cincinnati. Rich?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. My question is actually just over the weekend on Friday, I was walking across an overpass that went over the highway. Mm-hmm. Halfway across the overpass, I felt dizzy, lightheaded. I guess I passed out. I actually woke up on the highway and a semi was running over my leg.
Wow.
I just got released from the hospital yesterday just because they can't do anything until the swelling goes down. They don't know if they're going to be able to keep my foot or if they're going to be able to save it or not. My question is, I've been trying to contact the police to see what's going on. For some reason, the police have it down as it appears that I had jumped from the bridge, which I don't know why anyone would jump from a 25-foot bridge onto the highway. But I need to know if you guys could give me advice on where I can go from here, because this is obviously, I didn't do this on purpose. The truck didn't stop. It just kept driving.
Well, look, Rich, there's a couple of things. Number one, in order for anyone else to have any responsibility, you have to show that they did something wrong. And if you fell in front of a truck and the truck driver had no opportunity to avoid running over you, which just, it sounds like an awful event. The truck driver didn't do anything wrong. And your only recovery may be against your medical carrier, that is somebody to pay your medical bills. And if you don't have any, then you're going to have to look to other sources. You can't, whether he stopped or not, and I say he, it could have been a she as well, whether they stopped or not, that doesn't necessarily make the wreck their fault or the incident their fault, and they may not have even known. You know, they've got 18 wheels. If you would have been hit squarely with any of them, you wouldn't be talking to us right now. I am so glad that your injury, that you survived it, because that's wow. I mean, you're very, very, very lucky to be alive right now. And as far as having a claim against a truck driver, unless you can show they did something wrong, I just don't see anything there. You have anything to add to that, Dan?
No, your thought was exactly what mine was. I think if you're sitting in the way of somebody, I just had a recent case like this, and the defense was the guy steps out from a car into the road and into the oncoming traffic, and the defense all the way was, hey, he just appeared in front of us and we couldn't do anything about it. So those are tough situations. And you know.
Rich, best of luck. I'm glad you survived it. I hope you do well.
All right, that is all the time we have for this first, and we will go to the break right now, and we'll be back with more discussion of traffic accidents. Stay with us.